day after a holiday and people had things to do yesterday, but even this morning in class, I had several
Really?
come in late.
And I had to,
Not a
I
big
have to,
deal, but I want to be respectful of you and your time.
yeah, I
Do
have
you
to
have any
set the alarm.
questions or anything that you would like me to go over in
Can you hear
particular?
me? Can you hear me? Can you hear me? You can't hear me.
Uh-oh, I lost you. Sorry.
Okay, can you hear me? Can you hear me now?
When I turned off the LED lights, I turned it all the way off. I'm sorry.
Okay, because
Sorry.
I was telling you that I have to set an alarm because you get so busy doing other things. That's what
Yes.
I missed a couple because I didn't have my alarm. So I said and even today I almost forgot, but my alarm reminded me.
I know exactly what you mean because I have an alarm on my phone and on my watch to go pick up my daughter because, I
Yeah,
can't.
you can get busy and before you know it.
Oh, goodness.
So is it just me and you today?
So far, that's all that is us. And so if there's anything in particular that you just want to go over and explore at this point, it will be all about you. If you don't have specific questions, then we'll just start
Go
and
through the whole thing.
yeah, all the way through. And then we tried something last Friday in class and also this morning in class, and it seemed to really work for people. So we're going to try it in here. And what that is me turning around. So we talked about the moves forward facing you, just so you 100% understood what was happening with our hands so that when you turned around, you didn't have questions. So we can easily go back and forth, but when it came to practice, people had an easier time following me when I was turned around facing the back.
Remember I mentioned that one time? Yeah, because in the classes I take, I kind of like that too, but yes, I know everyone has a different comfort level.
Well, that is the way I like to have class. And I had never taught facing forward until I started virtual classes. And
okay.
The people who were in and I'm just walking around open and closing while I talk, but the people that were in my very first virtual class had only been taught facing forward with the instructor facing forward. And they didn't want me to turn around. So that's when I learned how to teach facing and doing mirror image. And that wasn't a problem. I mean, it took me a little while to get used to it. But now I have all new people. So, hey, if y'all prefer me to turn around and y'all get better instruction that way, I'm great with that.
Even if you're facing us and doing it, you're still calling our hands. I don't know if that, I've seen some people do that, but they're actually calling it as if they're facing the back, but they're really facing up. So
right.
That's another way to do it too.
We'll give it a try. I mean, I'm willing to do it a couple different ways and even in the same class, just so everyone is satisfied and, just gets it. But I just want to make sure y'all understand really what's happening in the front, even if you can't see the front. Now, warm-ups are done facing you. And the reason why is because you do something on the right, you do something on the left. There's no particular order. Wherever you start, you do the other one next. So facing for the warm-up stretching doesn't seem to be a big deal. Whenever I teach class in person, I teach all the warm-up stretches facing. And it helps me connect a little bit better to the people. So my back isn't to you at all times. So we'll just give that a try today and see how that works. And we'll rock on with it. All right, let's get in our stable stance with our feet shoulder width apart, our good posture, relaxed shoulders, no tension there. reminding ourselves that we're going to breathe and we're going to make an effort to not hold our breath, but to also check in and just make sure we're not doing that. Because we get busy sometimes and we do hold our breath. We forget to breathe, even though it's a natural process of our body. All right, here we go with our neck. We're going to bring our hands up towards our chin and chest, push away, and follow those hands all the way down. And I'm just breathing at my own pace. We all breathe differently. Based on our lung capacity. You know, if you have a person who is who sings or who swims a lot, typically they can hold their breath a lot longer. Our other neck exercise starts that same way. We follow one hand as we look over our shoulder, back to the front. Oh, I got Crystal coming in. There we go.
Joined us?
Ma'am.
Someone joined us?
Yep, we got Crystal. Crystal, I got your paperwork today in the mail, if you can hear me. Oh, goodness. My neck wasn't this stiff this morning, but it's pretty stiff now. You know, we only live in our own bodies. We don't have the ability to live in anyone else's body. So I wonder sometimes at how stiff my neck is, if that's how other people's neck gets. If everybody has a stiff neck, or if somebody else has a stiff shoulder, or, you know, our normal is, I guess, what we just think everybody feels like. That makes me think of my husband. He's blind in one eye. And he did not know until he was an adult that he was blind, because he just assumed that's how everybody saw. He didn't know any different. No one ever talked to him about it. It was only when he went to get a CDL license and they made him do like one eye at the time rather than both at the same time. Let's roll our shoulders.
My husband is like 50% blind in one eye.
Huh. And
but he knew.
When did he go blind? Did he go blind as a child?
It was gradual.
Oh, okay.
Gradual. As he wore thick glasses, and then I think glaucoma got in there, or
gotcha.
Yeah.
Well, I can never remember which one of his eyes is his blind eye, because if we go to like a stadium, my daughter's a dancer, so I have to remember or ask him, now which side are you blind on? Because we have to sit so that his good eye,
yes.
And I think it's the left.
Is he driving okay?
He does, as long as he has the ability to have his other eye open, he's good. But now he can't legally get a CDL license, because you have to be able to see out of each eye, not both eyes.
Yeah.
That was a little bit of a stressful time in our life, because his job required him to have a CDL license, and the CDL, whoever had given him the CDL license before that, because you get it done every 8 years or something like that, they did it wrong. So he had a CDL license not knowing that they did the test wrong, if that makes sense. It doesn't matter. It has nothing to do with Tai Chi.
But you know, I do want to say his peripheral vision is kind of limited.
Uh-huh. Oh yeah. Oh well, they ended up just changing his job. They gave him a different job in the company because
Oh, good.
he was a good worker and they didn't want to lose him. So he got a job that didn't require him to have a CDL license.
Good.
So it all worked out, but I'm telling you, there for a little bit, it was kind of stressful.
Probably was a blessing in disguise. He's not on the road a lot, you know?
Right. That's right. God takes care of us even when we don't even
Realizing, yeah.
when we sitting back and just questioning everything. And in the end, it always works out.
Amen.
The stretch is so nice too. And I do pay attention to breathing on this one. I like to inhale when I'm at my ball and then exhale as I separate. I feel like that helps my stretch kind of extend a little bit more, but it's not necessary. Some of the movements lend itself more to the timing of breath than others. All right, let's grab our ball and go side to side. It's that movement that's in our waving hands and clouds. Oh, I thought I saw Crystal disappear. Now she's back. All right. It's going side to side. Is everything okay, Crystal?
Let's see. I'm just having some technical difficulties, but I think I'm in all the way here now.
Okay, very good.
Thanks.
I was gonna say, I don't know how I would help, but I sure would try. I'm a big time poser when it comes to technology. I can do a little bit. I plugged in my speaker though. I got it to work. All right. Hips. Of course, this is when it gets a little more complicated because we're shifting weight to one leg. Remember, you can always skip arm movements and hold on to a chair. There are seated versions, but it's a little more ideal to do it standing because it's that weight shift. It's that leg holding your weight on one, or it's that, yeah, leg holding your weight on one leg. That really strengthens those muscles, which lends itself to falls prevention. So even if you hold a chair and shift the weight and do what you can with the other foot comfortably, try to do it that way, standing and holding a chair. Or on the first one where we do what I call a leg swing, heel, pause, and then toe back. That's one. If you have a hard time with endurance, so holding weight on your leg to do 3 of those before you shift the weight to the other leg, then do it on one side and then shift and do it on the other side. So you're giving that leg a break and you're actually getting more experience with the weight shift. So that gives you some options based on wherever you feel most comfortable. So it's shift the weight to one leg, heel forward, hands back as a counterbalance, pause in the middle, and toe back like a kickstand. These are the times when you really do start holding your breath because you're focusing on staying upright, not falling. And I'm just breathing at my own pace. Now shift the weight to the other side. So 3 is kind of what we're going for. I know if I ever get to 4, that's when that stable leg starts screaming at me, asking me if I'm about done. Now Shift the weight from one leg to the other, taking our hands towards the direction of the weight shift, stopping at the edge of our frame, going back to the other side. And then if you feel comfortable, tapping that foot out. To me, that's a real brave moment to hold your weight on that one leg while you move the other leg out. That's our goal. And if you're not there yet, that's okay. Just simply shift the weight and leave the foot on the floor. You're still getting the experience of the weight shift and the experience of your leg holding the weight. And that prepares us for our Tai Chi because that's what we do throughout. Is hold weight on one leg. Knees, loose fist, shift, lift, tap and punch. I'm losing sight of my toe. I'm gonna scoot back a little bit. But you're in control of how high you place your toe out there. Mine's pretty low to the ground. The higher you bring it off the ground, the more challenging it is. And you know, that's not so much necessary because, I mean, when are we in the position where we really lift our foot way high off the ground? That's not your everyday physical function. But it's a nice challenge, especially to have something stable nearby just in case. Now let's step out, keeping feet flat on the floor as you shift forward and back. Punch is the same as before, where it's opposite of the foot that comes out. I like this movement for the side to side shift and the front to back shift. Gives great experience with that. But we practice even in our warm-ups, this slow, smooth, and continuous movement. That being one of our movement control principles. And it's challenging for us because we're not used to slowing down. We typically move really fast. We're usually in a hurry for some reason. Now for our ankles, shift weight to one leg and then heel toe. Rocking that foot. And this is another place you can hold onto your chair or a table or even the wall. If you feel a little unstable, to hold your weight on one leg. So all these movements we did on the right and the left. So me facing you shouldn't be affected. Big toe, little toe, or side to side. Big toe, little toe.
If you get a little cramp while you're doing it in your foot, what do you recommend?
Cry.
Cry?
I'll tell you what I do when it happens. I go like this.
It passes, yeah.
When I was a little kid, I was in middle school. I wasn't that little, but I played sports, and so I got a cramp in my calf, and I screamed so loud, my daddy thought someone had broken our house. That is painful, isn't it? When your foot or your muscles cramp up. But definitely take a break, and try to relax that foot. Sometimes it helps to move it in the opposite direction. Sometimes that makes that cramp, just even tighten up worse. Sometimes I have to just take my shoe off and just go, like I said, just make that face until it passes.
Yeah.
But sometimes if I curl my toes under, I don't know if you can tell, but I curl my toes under, and sometimes
Uh-huh.
that will help. And just depending on where, sometimes, I mean, I'll just try whatever may help, but try to drink plenty of water. And I don't know how eating bananas helps, but you know, they say potassium will help keep you from having cramps.
Okay. Hallelujah.
Sweet potatoes have potassium, yams, like I'm not sure what else. But those things come immediately to mind. I don't know if you have thought about what makes your foot cramp. But here's when I know my feet are more likely to cramp. So right now I have on really flat shoes, right? There is no support, no nothing to my shoes. The days that I wear shoes that have a lot of like cushion, the next day is when my foot will cramp. And people think that sounds funny because they think it's the flat shoes that hurt my feet. But
The one from the day before.
if you ever look up like barefoot shoes, or people that just go barefoot, period. I mean, it's not socially acceptable, but they make shoes that are called barefoot shoes, and they're wide. You know how you'll see shoes and they'll come down to a point? Like, I mean, oh, they look cute. I mean, they look cute. But what is it? Your foot is like smushed down into the end of that foot. I have a bunion because of wearing cute shoes because of that. But the barefoot shoes will be really wide, just like your foot is, wide at the top for all your toes. So it gives space for your foot to not be, you know, crushed together. And what happens over time, and this takes a while, maybe even years, you can look into it. It's very interesting, but when you wear shoes that are very supportive, it weakens the muscles in your feet because the shoe is doing all the work. But when you wear flat shoes, like barefoot shoes, or the shoes I have on, they're just ballet flats. There's just nothing to, there's just flat bottomed. And the muscles in your feet get stronger because they have to. So they learn to support you better than, and then the shoe isn't what support you. That's always when my foot cramps up, is if I ever wear shoes that aren't flat, shoes that have cushion in them. Anyway, side note, that's not about Tai Chi either. We've learned about CDL, CDL test. We've learned about barefoot.
No.
What else did we learn about?
Foot.
But you see, this shoe is just flat. There's nothing to this shoe. There is zero cushion in this shoe. You know,
yeah. And it makes your foot stronger when you wear flat.
When you wear shoes that are these are just ballet flats. They're not intended to, you know, be barefoot shoes. They just are. There's just nothing to them. But they actually make shoes that are called barefoot shoes. And some of them are, oh my gosh, so expensive. But if I wear tennis shoes, cushion tennis shoes to try to teach Tai Chi, and I'm going to bring it to Tai Chi. if I wear real thick sole, I mean, this is just me. If I wear thick sole shoes to Tai Chi, then I don't feel connected to the ground. And I feel very wobbly as I transition weight. The master Tai Chi people, they wear these shoes that are, I think they're Asics brand, and they look like wrestler shoes. You know what I'm talking about? That are flat bottomed, but theirs don't have a high top. A wrestler shoe will typically have a high top on the ankle, I think, if I remember right. But the Tai Chi shoe it looks like a sneaker, like an Asics tennis shoe, but it's flat bottom, just like what I'm wearing, and it laces up. But that's what like my Tai Chi instructor wears, those flat bottom shoes. But they talk about the connection to the floor as you shift weight, rather than just think if you're on a mattress, you know, it's just a smaller version of a mattress. If you were to stand on top of your mattress and try to shift weight and hold your weight on one leg, you're more likely to be very wobbly and fall, right? Because it's so much cushion there. And it's kind of that same concept. But I think it takes time for the muscles in your feet to get strong and to get used to that. So you might have to analyze your footwear behaviors and see if maybe there's a pair of shoes that you wear and the next day, then your feet hurt or behave some kind of way, or that's whenever you get your cramps. Some days I wear cute shoes because I want to be cute, but I know I'm going to suffer the next day. That's just the woman in me. I wear a certain outfit. So, but anyway, let's get to our Tai Chi. But that is something to talk about with footwear and what you feel most comfortable in and what makes you feel most stable. Some people may have a different reason to need the cushion, and maybe they don't want to go through that process of strengthening their foot muscles. But there are lots of YouTube videos on it if you want to watch. I found it fascinating to go learn about it.
Mm-hmm.
I just started wearing colorful ballet flats because there were so many options, and I could, you know, make my outfits look cute with all the colors. I wasn't thinking about my feet. And I remember when I first started, my feet really hurt, but I suffered through it because I liked my shoes. And then one day it was like, well, these are the most comfortable shoes ever. Why did I ever think they were uncomfortable? And then doing the research backwards. So I kind of lived it before I even knew what I was doing. And there's something about me. I told y'all would learn things about me along and along. It's just usually about my children. I usually talk about them. I don't typically talk too much about myself. All right. Let's go through our hand movements of a basic 6. And so remember, in our basic 6 commencement move, our hands are facing each other the whole time as they come up, down. You can think of it as in and up, out, and back in. So even when we're out, remember, we're not Frankenstein. We still have that soft joint. So when we do commencement, it's up, down, finish the U, or in and out, or yeah, in and up. Here, open and close. Single whip, because we shift and step out, it turns our body. So when we place our hands out, it's at an angle because of our step out. Push those hands out, turn them away from us, and separate. Our eyes follow the hand opposite of the leg that steps out. So our first single whip is to the right. So we follow the left hand. And then our second single whip is to the left. So we follow our right hand. So that's the rule in single whips, and what our hands look like And then waving hands in clouds, where we have one hand at our hip, the other hand cross body, and we turn, switch, turn, switch. So that's what the handwork of waving hands in clouds looks like. All right, so I'm gonna do turn around, and I'm gonna talk you through our moves of just our basic 6. So we, in our basic 6, we go to the right first, and then we go to the left. So beginning with our nice stable stance, reminding ourselves to breathe and commence. Our hands come up, down, shift right, step left, hands come in and up, shift left as they go out, right foot forward, hands come back, open and close. Single whip, shift left, step right, adjust weight, push, turn, separate, eyes follow that left hand, shift left, bring that right foot, right hand back, waving hands in clouds, step, switch, turn, shift, step and switch, turn, shift, step and switch, turn, shift, step and switch, turn to the middle. I think we can do more. Step, switch, turn, shift, step and switch, turn to the middle for open and close. Single whip, shift right, step left, adjust weight, push, turn, separate, eyes following our right hand, shift right, left foot, left hand down, waving hands in clouds. Step and switch, turn, shift, 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 step and switch, turn to the middle for open and close. Close it out. So there's our basic 6. Let's do it again. Come a little closer. I don't know why I was so close to that wall. All right, here we go. I'll talk you through it again, and then we'll just go to the names of the movements. And commence. Hands come up, down, shift right. Step left, hands come in and up. Shift left as they go out, right foot forward, hands come back, open and close. Single whip, shift left, step right, adjust weight. Push, turn, separate, follow that left hand. Shift left, bring that right foot, right hand back, waving hands in clouds. Step and switch, turn, shift. Step and switch, turn, shift, 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 step and switch, turn, back to the middle for open and close. Single whip, shift right, step left, adjust weight. Push, turn, separate, following that right hand. Shift right, bring that left foot, left hand back, waving hands in clouds. Step and switch, turn, shift, 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 step and switch, turn to the middle for open and close. Close it out. All right, this time we're gonna do it. I'll just call out the names of the movements. Y'all like me turned around?
I do.
Very good. You good, Crystal? I think Crystal's microphone's off. She's got thumbs up. We like it. I like it too. Okay, this time I'm just gonna call out the names of the movements. So the less talking that we can do, the more we can focus on our movements and really like just relax into them.
For
Experience.
my internet is real sketchy. It's like you guys are freezing and off and on. So if you say something to me and I don't answer, I'll try to give a signal.
All right. Thank you for letting me know. And
All
just
right.
know that it's recorded. So if there's anything you need to go back to, it'll be on YouTube. I know
Okay.
bad internet's frustrating. I live in the country. I deal with it every night when I go home. If the weather's bad, forget it. I'm not having it. So I totally understand. All right, here we go. Run the top and commence. Open, close. Single whip. Waving hands in clouds. Open, close. Single whip. Open, close. Close it out. So even though I was just saying the names of the movements, in my head, I was saying shift weight, step, adjust weight, push, turn, separate. I was saying the words of the movement, and that can be helpful for you as you learn, as you get better and better at the movements. And before you know it, you'll be doing those movements and not even realize it. So, okay, Crystal, thank you. She said she'll have her internet's really bad today. So, all right. So, but that's kind of what I think, especially when I'm teaching the class. Another reason why it's helpful when I teach your class is that I do that kind of the choppy version of the Tai Chi where it's like shift, step, adjust weight, so that it's more obvious what I'm doing as I'm teaching the class, so that eventually it'll be more like you'll be doing it, but there's a more smooth nature of that movement. So even when I'm not saying it out loud, I'm saying the words to myself to make sure that I'm stepping, adjusting the weight to go to do all the little intricate parts of the movement. So let's do it again. Take a few breaths. And begin. Commence. Open, close. Single whip. waving hands and clouds. Open, close. Single whip. Waving hands and clouds. Open, close. Close it out. So those are our basic movements, and you feel comfortable with those movements. You feel ready to move forward.
Well, I think the good thing is that in the beginning you were showing us the hand movement, because now that your back is to us, we don't see the hand movement, but we kind of remembered how you taught it. So probably it's a good idea to go back and forth, you know, so we see the hand movements and of course follow you when your back is turned.
Yes. And you know, it's you win one way and you lose the other. So we'll go through that in the front. Would it be helpful if I mirror imaged when I'm in the front? So for instance, you know, turned around with our basic 6 movements, we know that we're shifting right and we're stepping left. And that's easy to see and follow when I'm turned around. So if I turn around like this and I say shift right, step left, shift left, bring the right foot forward, that looks one way because I'm doing it, that's my right. But if I do it mirror image, then I go shift right, step left, shift left, bring the right foot forward. So those are 2 different ways. Which way do you like? Do you like me to go shift right, step left, shift left, right foot forward? Or do you like me to go shift right, step left, shift left, right foot forward? I know it blows my brain every time I do it. I can do it either way. I've done it enough to where I can. But one is called mirror image and one just isn't. And maybe just me.
Mirror image is when you're doing it in such a way that I'm actually doing exactly what you're doing. Is that what you were doing initially? Mirror image?
This is mirror image of commencement. Okay, mirror image, commencement. Hands come up, down, shift right. Step left, hands come in and up. Shift left as the hands go out. Right foot forward, hands come back, open and close. A step further, single whip. Shift left, step right. Adjust weight. Push, turn, separate, eyes follow that left hand. Shift left, bring that right foot, right hand back, waving hands and clouds. Step, switch, turn, shift, step, switch, turn, shift, step, switch, turn, shift, step, switch, turn, shift, step, switch, turn, shift. There's a wall there. Step, turn to the middle for open and close. Single whip to the left. Shift right, step left, adjust weight, push, turn, separate, eyes follow your right hand, shift right, bring that left foot, left hand back, waving hands in clouds. Step switch, turn, shift, 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 step switch, turn to the middle for open and close. That was mirror image. So do you find that way easy to follow?
Yeah, but I still prefer when you turn your back to us.
Okay. So the times when I turn around to face you, do you like mirror image, what I just did, or do you like?
Now, when you look at me, was I on the same hands that you were doing? Did
Girl,
you see-
mirror
Can you-
image. When I tell you, okay, when I say shift left, step right, which,
Did I do your mirror image?
what did you do? I'm doing mirror image, but what did you do? If
Okay.
I go, if I-
Say it
may-
again.
I'm not gonna talk, I'm just gonna say shift. Shift, step, shift, bring the foot forward.
Can you see that I did it? I think I did everything you said.
What foot did you step out with first, your right or your left?
Just say it again. Let me.
Okay, shift, step,
I stepped out on my right.
you stepped on your right. So you're not mirror imaging me. So when I do, hold on, that's false. That's false. I got myself mixed up. You are mirror imaging me. Sorry about that. Okay, so when I say shift, step, shift, forward, which foot did you step with? So let's do it again. Shift,
I
step.
stepped out with my left on that one.
Okay, so that's mirror image, and stepping out left is the correct way of doing that movement. So when I turn and face you, I'm gonna do mirror image.
Yeah,
Okay,
that sounds good.
I think that was the easiest and best I have ever gotten an answer. Because okay, a couple weeks ago, okay, let me back up. A girl she's an instructor and she takes my advanced class on Fridays. She stayed after class and she said, she helped me work through it. So there is a button on my computer that I can push that turns me mirror image. So when I look at myself, it's mirror image. But I thought it did that for y'all, but it doesn't. And I didn't know that until a couple of weeks ago. That's why when I started teaching this class, I reverted back to the right way because I thought it was turning me around. Just like this paper right here, when I look at my computer screen, this is backwards. But when you look at it, it's not backwards. When you look at my shirt, it says Tigers, and you can read that, right? It's not backwards. But when I look at it, it's backwards.
Really?
So I thought y'all were seeing what I saw. And so what I did was drew this poster backwards because I was thinking y'all were seeing it backwards. So I drew it backwards thinking that y'all would then see it forwards. This was last year during my class. And I showed it to them and I said, does this look better for y'all? And they said, why is it backwards? my brain has just been so confused about what I'm seeing versus what y'all see. And so I get it now. What I see is not what y'all see. And so when I face you,
Is
it is,
that what all Zoom classes are?
well, I don't know, because you remember I admitted that I know very little about computers. But I can go into my video settings on Zoom and I can unclick mirror my video. Okay, so I just did that. I unclicked mirror my video. Now my shirt says Tigers. It's not backwards, but it didn't change for you. It only changed for me.
Oh,
Now this is the right way. It's not backwards. So it only changed for me. And that's what confused me. Why that is a setting I don't understand.
wow.
But now that I know 2 years later, I really thought y'all saw what I saw. And so it confused me. Anyway, all that to say, when I face y'all, I will do mirror image. So when we talk about our basic 6 movements from me facing you, it looks, I'll come over here because we go to the right first and then we go to the left. See me winking because I'm lying to you, because that is my left and this is my right. But because it's mirror image to you, then for all you need to know, that's my right and that's my left. So when we say commence, up, down, shift right, step left, hands come in and up, shift left as those hands go out, right foot forward, hands come back, open and close. So commencement is a step forward led by your left leg. We shift right, we step left, we shift left, and bring the right foot forward. So when I turn around, I shift right, step left, shift left, right foot forward. So when I turn around, you follow it the correct way. And when I face you, I mirror image you. So I shift right, step left, shift left, right foot forward. Of course, hands come back, open and close. So our single whip and waving hands and clouds goes to the right first. So we shift left, step right, adjust weight, push, turn, separate, following that left hand. Shift left, bring that right foot, right hand back, waving hands and clouds. Step and switch, turn, shift, step and switch, turn, shift, step and switch, turn, shift, step and switch. And I'm not saying right or left here because I only have so much time to say words, but just follow me as I step, switch, and turn, shift, step and switch, turn to the middle for open and close. Single whip, shift right, step left, adjust weight, push, turn, separate, following my right hand, shift right, bring that left foot, left hand back, waving hands and clouds, step and switch, turn, shift, 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 step and switch, turn, and to the middle for open and close. Thank you so much, Nora, for taking the time to walk me through it today, because now I know, yes, let's review it front and let's review it in mirror image, That way you can see the front movement, but then let's turn around and practice. And then there's no need for mirror image because we're going the same direction. That way we know we're more comfortable with what's happening with our hands and what it looks like in the front. And then we turn around and we can practice. And so that's how we'll handle business from here. Does that sound good?
That sounds great.
Oh, thank you so much. You just don't even know. I mean, I'm so thrilled to have come to that conclusion because all of it has confused me because we don't see the same thing.
Right.
So, and I already struggled with right and left. And then you put me in a situation where I'm just lying. And my mind would just be blown. Anyway, let's cool down. I didn't realize it had gotten late, but hey, we have moved mountains today. I'm making myself a note. I'm gonna send you a prize for helping me come to that conclusion. So you'll be surprised at what present I sent.
Oh, thanks.
I just appreciate it so much. You tell me, actually, I have prizes right here. You tell me what you would rather have. Okay, I have this. It's a sling bag and it's adjustable and it's intended to, I mean, you can wear it just like over your shoulder.
Uh-huh.
You can also loosen the straps, and they're not loose right now, but you can loosen the straps and either wear it behind you or wear it crossbody in the front, and it has a zippy pocket in the front and in the back, and there's a pocket, and it says, I love me.
Oh,
all right. Or I'll send you one of these, and you tell me which one, and I will send them. These are my good prizes that I give. This is a water bottle, and it's a nice water bottle. It's like those fancy ones that keep your drink cold and warm. And so it has a lock on there so it doesn't come open until it's unlocked. And then whenever you drink from it, you pull that back so you don't hit yourself in the face. Huh?
The same thing back there, that yellow one on your table that you're drinking from?
It's similar, but now this one is a Yeti. This one's got stickers. You see, how's your mom and them? It says, how's your mom and them? It says sunshine, please. And it says sunshine. And then it has my initials. My husband got me this one, but it's the same kind of concept. It just doesn't have a straw. So would you rather have a cup or would you rather have the bag?
I'll take the bag.
Okay. Very good. I'll send it to you. I'll get it in the mail today. And then however long it takes Mr. Postman to get it to you, you'll just let me know. All right, let's gather attention, but I just always want people to know when I appreciate it.
Thank you. I appreciate you.
You're welcome. But any way I can be a better instructor. I mean, you know, because I'm always learning. I'm fairly new at teaching virtually. And so I'm always willing to learn, but I can't do it without y'all because y'all are the students. And what y'all see is different than what I think, or I've not taken Tai Chi. Well, I take that back. I did a training of Tai Chi online, but I already knew Tai Chi. So it wasn't like I was relying on it. And so I was jaded a little bit because I already knew it. All right, let's take our fist, our right fist. Oh, I better do mirror image. Our right fist, that represents our strength. Our left fingers all together representing our friendship. Our thumb in representing humility. Yes, I'm humbled all the time. And we put those together in mutual respect. We say namaste.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you, Miss Nora. Let me know if I can do anything between now and next Tuesday for you. And if not, I'll just see you then, okay?
All righty.
All right. Love you.
Love you too. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Bye.
Bye.